Okay, so today I want us to go through calculator tricks for statistics. So normally the questions that may come in statistics, they may ask you to find the mean, the standard deviation, the variance, the mode, the median, the quartiles, the first quartile, third quartile, and sometimes they may ask you to find the assumed mean, the mean deviation. But the calculator can help you to find the mean, the standard deviation, and the calculator can also help you to find the sum of the frequency, sigma f. Yes, so that's what we're going to go through today. I may give an example. Basically, when you're able to find the standard deviation, you should be able to find the variance, because the variance is the square of the standard deviation, or let's say the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So if you have the standard deviation and you take the square of it, that will give you the variance. If you have the variance and you take the square root of the variance, you get the standard deviation. So for example, I have, this is for group data. What we are going to learn is for group data. We have statistics for group data and on-group data. For group data, on group data, we know that the mean is something like sigma x over the n, where the n is the number of observations, the x is like individual observations. But for group data, you may be seeing something like sigma f of x over sigma f, which is represented by the mean. The mean symbol is x bar. So wherever you see x bar, it's talking about the mean symbol. And this is the symbol for standard deviation. So this is the variance. Yes. Okay, so let's take an example and do it fast. So assuming I give you something like ages. So age of a class. So it ranges from 4 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to say 19, then 20 to 24, and 25 to 29. And I give you a frequency of, so this is the frequency. I give you like, we have 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12. Then I tell you to find the mean, the median, and let's say, so I'm asking you to find the mean, the median, the say standard deviation, the variance. Yes, let's ask you to find these things. The calculator can help you to find them very quick, and we'll do a quick one. But what you have to know is that this H is not given in terms of boundary, it's given in terms of limit. So you have something we call the class boundary and the limits. So let me use this short example. Now we see that from 9 to 10, there is an interval, like one interval, and that becomes the limit. So for you to cross 1 to 10, you have to cross the limit of 1, interval 1. But the boundary is such that the end of this first class becomes the beginning of this one. So we have to make it in such a way that what ends here begins here, what ends here begins here, what ends here begins here. And so normally they will tell you that subtract half, or let's say 0.5 from the lower boundary of the class, add 0.5 to the upper boundary of the class. So this is the lower boundary of this class, this is the upper boundary of this class. So when I subtract 0.5 or half from this, I'll get 3.5. But this one, let me make it 5. So let's make it 5 instead of 4. So that we'll be able to get something proper. So maybe when I subtract 0.5 from this, I'll get 4.5. When I add 0.5 to this, I'll get 9.5. Similarly, when I subtract 0.5 from this, I'll get 9.5. When I add to this, I'll get 14.5. So you realize that the end here becomes the beginning here, the end here becomes the beginning here, the end here becomes the beginning here. So we are going to do that. And so in solving for the mean, the median, the variance, everything, we use the class boundary instead of the limit. We use that. When going forward, we'll tell you the reason why we use the boundary instead of the limit. So okay, let me clean it fast and make the table very short one. So I have to sketch the table again, because they are asking me for the mean, the median, everything. Median is also part of quartiles. So we have the first quartile up to the first quartile, second quartile, the third quartile. Quartile is like you are dividing the thing into 4. The first quartile represents the 1/4 position of the observation, and the second quartile is the 2/4 times n, which gives me n/2, because the 2 will cancel the 4. we have n over 2. The third quartile is 3 over 4 times n. So the second quartile is actually the median. So when they tell you to find the median, it's the same as telling you to find the second quartile. The quartile has a basic formula. So let's note that one too. The formula for the quartile is the lower class of the quartile class that you're looking for. The maybe depending on the quartile, let me say the quartile limit, if it's the first quartile, second quartile, blah 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 position. So let's say for the third quartile. So let me assume that I'm doing for the third quartile. So it becomes 3n over 4, and I'll subtract the cumulative frequency before the quartile class, the frequency of the quartile class, and I'll multiply by an interval. So it means that for me to find the median, which is also a quartile, it means I will need, I'm saying this so that we know the table that we have to draw and the number of columns needed. So it means that I will need a table which will bring me cumulative frequency. The mean also will be needing, the mean for the group data will need sigma f of x over sigma f. So it means that I will need f of x, f times x column in the table. Therefore, the standard deviation, I'll have SD equal to square root of f of x squared over sigma f minus the mean, which is the same as this, all squared. So it means that I will need this also as a column in the table. So now that I know my formulas, I'll just create a table, leave the table empty, then we'll use the calculator to fill the table and also solve these questions. So I'll draw the table again. So the table was, now instead of the limit, I'll use boundary. Initially it was 5 to 9, 10 to 14. So now I'll use the limit approach. So I'll subtract 0.5 from the lower class, add 0.5 to the upper class. So I have 4.5 to 9.5. I have 9.5 to 14.5. I have 14.5 to 20, was it 20 or 19.5? Thank you. 19.5, and I have 19.5 to 24.5, and I have 24.5 to 29.5 being my boundary. Then the frequency was 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12. Now I have to get the x, which I'll multiply with this to get the f of x. So the x becomes the midpoint of this one, the boundary. So the x, so let's say midpoint. So midpoint actually means add the lower and the upper and divide by 2. So when I add the lower and the upper, I'm going to get something like, I'm going to get 7. Then I'll get 12 here. Then I'll get 17. Then I'm going to get 22. Then I'm going to get 27. I think that's it. Yes. So that's what we are going to get for the midpoint. So that becomes the value for x. So I'll have to create a table for the f of x, that is f times x, then f times x squared. I will also need the cumulative frequency. So I can also fill the cumulative frequency aspect. So let me write total here so that we fill the table. Cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency is just like adding the frequencies. Now the 5 here remains as 5, the cumulative frequency for the first one. The second one, you add this to this so that you get 12. The third one, you add 8 to the 12, then you get 20. Then you add this to this, you get 30. You add this to this, you get 42. Now, it is believed that the last number here should also be is the actual sum of the frequency. So when examiners are marking, they check this and they check this. The last number here, and the total sum of the frequency. So this and this should be the same. The moment they are not the same means that maybe you got a value from a different place. So now that we are done with this and this, we are left with this and this, and the calculator can help you fill in this column at a go. You don't need to do this and this, then you fill one by one before you come here. So there is a shortcut. The shortcut is, oh, I may have to clean a place, but I'll try and write here. On your calculator, you can write something like this, and then we start solving. So how to write is maybe you don't have f on the calculator, but you have x. So let's make it a, b, and then ab squared, whereby a will be for f and x will be, the b will be for x. So on your calculator, you see that you have shift, you have alpha, and we have other things on the calculator. So And the shift has a color. I think it's orange. And the alpha has a color. It is, will I say mauve or violet? Any of them. I'm not good in colors. So, and every number here, everything on the calculator, when you look at the top of it, you see another thing written on it. Then the color can be related to the shifts or the alpha. So when you look here, you see there is X on top of the brackets here. When you look here, there is A on top of it. The color is that of the alpha. When you look next, it is B on the top of it. The color is that of the alpha. So I can just press alpha A, then I'll press alpha where I'll get the B. When you press that, then I have alpha A, B. But I'll need a semicolon. The semicolon is just on the integral sign. This is an integral sign. The semicolon is on the integral sign. So you see the color is that of the alpha. So you press alpha semicolon, alpha semicolon, alpha semicolon, alpha semicolon. Then now I'll need alpha B squared. So the same process, alpha A, sorry, alpha A, alpha B, then the squared. You have X squared somewhere on your calculator. So you press the squared. So you get your alpha B squared. The next thing you are supposed to do is to press solve or calc. There is something called solve or calc on your calculator. So when you press the solve or calc on the calculator, they will ask you A, comma, means what is A? Then you can input the value. So now our A is the frequency, the X is the B. So they'll ask you what is A. So I'll press 5. And they'll ask me what is B, and I'll press 7. Then the answer will come for the first one. They will first bring AB, which will be 35. And when I press equal to again, they'll bring AB squared, which is 2, 4, 5. So the semicolon is helping me fill this table and this table at a go. So I'll continue. I'll just be pressing equal to equal to equal to. When I press the next equal to, they ask me what is A again. Then I'll be changing the values. What is B? I'll change the value to give me. So I'll just do it fast. You can also try it on your own. So now my A is 7. A changes to 7. My B is 12. So I have 84. Here I have 1008 here. Then I go again. My A is now 8. And my B is 17. So I have 136 here. I have 2312. Then I go again. My A is now 10. My B is 22. I have 220. Then I have 4840. Then I go again. I have my A to be 12. Then I have my B to be 27. So A to be 12, B to be 27. I have 324. Then I have 8, 7, 4, 8. That is very, very simple. So I fill the two columns at a go. Or somebody will take time, do this times this right, this times this right, this times this, before you come, this times this squared, this, that, and you are just wasting your time. So now that you have filled the table, we can go ahead and find the mean and the standard deviation, which the calculator can also help you find it. So the first thing we are going to do is that so now I just want to clean this aspect, assuming we are done. So I would like to clean it. Yes, I would like to clean it. And I'll only maintain, but on your own, you don't have to clean it. You don't have to clean it. So we are using the calculator for the mean and the standard deviation. So what we're going to do is that we have to first put on the frequency. There is a short, we can just go to mode. When you press mode, a pop-up menu will appear. And you see numbers and something. One is COMP, 2, CMPLX, 3, ST80. We are interested in the ST80, which stands for the statistics. So you press the mode, select the number. You can just go straight mode and select the number associated to the start, which will be 3. And then you see 1 var. You see A plus BX. The A plus BX is used for solving regression. So you can use the calculator to find regression and other things. But the first one, 1 var, is what we are going to use for this. Let's say 1 variable. That's what we are going to use for this statistics, not the regression and the other ones. So we have the lane, we have the exponential functions, but we are interested in this one. Okay. So you can press that. It will give you a column for X. So it will give you a table to fill the column for X. But what we are supposed to do is that now we want to fill both for X and the frequency. So first, instead of going just straight to mode, we'll now start with shift and mode. You go to shift and mode, a whole lot of things will appear. But when you press the down button, you see that there's another things below it. So you see start somewhere. My start here is connected to the 4. So I said press shift and mode. You see a whole lot of things, but use the arrow button and press again. Press the arrow button. It will take you to another menu. Then you see start. When you press the start, you see frequency on or off. So you press the one associated to the on, which is 1. So it means that everything will go again. So it means that the frequency is now on. So when I fill the table, I'll have the frequency also. So then we can now go to mode. Then we select the start, which is 3. Then I'll select one var, which is 1. So now I'll have a table for X and frequency. Then I'll just enter the figures. So the X is 7 equal to 12 equal to 17 equal to 22 equal to 27. So I'm done with my X. Then I'll use this arrow and I'll press to the frequency side. Now I'll just also start filling the frequency from the top. So I have 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12. When I'm done, or when you are done, don't press the AC button. When you press the AC button, everything goes off. You have to repeat it again. So when you are done, just press the on button. Your things are in, but they are not cleared, so you can access them. So when this is done, now we can now find the mean, the standard deviation, and even the summation. So what we need is you look at the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is stats written on some of them, and the color is associated with that of the color of shift. So you press shift, and here it is 1. So I'll press 1. They give me a lot of things: type, data, sum, distribution, var, min, max. But we are interested in the var, VAR. So I'll press the number associated to the var. Here it is 4. So I'll press 4. When I press 4, I have n, I have x bar, I have delta x. So the n is the summation or x sigma f. The x bar is the mean, and the third one, the delta x, is the standard deviation. So if it is the summation that I want, I'll just press the number associated to the summation, which is the n. So that is 1. When I press 1, I'll just press equal to. It gives me 42. Just as when we added, we had 42. So now I want to also now find the mean. I'll have to just press on again. Now I want to find the mean. Don't need to enter the values again. Just go to shifts and then 1, the start there. You go to the same process. Select var. Then you select the number associated to the mean, that x bar, which is 2. So when I press 2, they tell me my mean is, they are saying that calculator says the mean is 19.00238. That's what the calculator is saying. Yes. So I'll press on again. These things you do and write it at the back of the answer booklets, because you have to show working. So calculator helps you to get these values fast and you show working. Now I want standard deviation, so I'll press the shift again, then the number associated to the start, because the things are already entered, then var. Then I'll select 3, which is delta x, the standard deviation. It gives me the standard deviation. So standard deviation, they are saying 6.819. So that's I know this is the mean. This is the standard deviation. Then I can put the calculator away, or let's say hold it on and just prove. So I know that the mean, which is represented by the x bar, is equal to sigma f of x over sigma f. So I'll leave a space, but I'll write this is equal to sigma f. I'll not repeat the sigma f of x. I'll just leave it there. Now the answer for this one is the 42. So I'll write 42. Are you getting it? Then the next line will be the value of the mean. So I left this one out. How can I get this one without even adding the f of x that we did? So we do change of subjects. When I want to make this, when I want to find this one, I just have to multiply through by 42. So it means that when I multiply the 42 by the mean, I should get what is here. So now the calculator gave me the mean, and I know the sigma f. So I'll just punch 42 times the mean. which is 19.0238. So I'll get 798.9996. So you see, by the values here, there is nothing like decimal. So what you do is you run that decimal. So 789.9 will be 798.99 will be 799 when I run it. So it means here will be 799, and that column that we left, that empty space we left for the f of x, the summation, you just write the 799 there. Calculator is helping you do everything, and it'll help you with speed. Then we'll be left with, so let me write there. This one here, 6 points. Was it? What was it? Let me get it back from the calculator. Okay, 6.819. So I know that the standard deviation is equal to square root of sigma f x squared sigma f, then the mean. This is also the mean, all squared. So now I just quote the formula. So now permit me to clean this one. When I quote the formula, then my next line, so I'll write, let me write it on top. So this is equal to this is this over this minus this all squared. Then my next line, I'll just try and write 42. I know this is the mean. So I'll write 19.0, what was it? 03, what? Let me get it back. I don't have them in my mind, but I can always get them back. 19.0238. Yes, that was it. Squared. The calculator says the answer is 6.819. Okay, but I don't know sigma f of x squared, but I've filled the table already. So it's just shortcut. When I want to find this, also change of subject. When I want to find this, it's very simple. Well, let's use this one. When we want to make this the subject, what do? We just square both sides. So I have x squared is delta squared, which will give me this. So it will give me the variance, then the mean all squared. This is the mean, so the mean all squared. I want to make this the subject. So what do I do again? I'll bring this one here to get delta squared plus x squared, which will be equal to sigma f of x squared over sigma f. But I want to make this one the subject, so I'll multiply through by the sigma f. So I'll have delta squared plus x bar squared, that is the mean squared, multiplied by sigma f, which will be equal to this. So that's very simple. This is given by the standard deviation was given by the calculator. I will square it. The mean was given by the calculator. I will square it. I'll multiply by the 42. That was also given by the calculator. Then I'll just put that value here. So I'll have 6.819 all squared plus the mean, that is 19.0238, also all squared. Then I'll multiply by 42. When I multiply by 42, I get 17152.95. I have to run it because there is nothing like decimal in the f or the x, so I have to run it. So it will become, here will become 17153 because it's 2.9 something. So I'll just write that value here. Then I can go further. So you do this kind of mathematics somewhere, and when you get this formula. So if you are good in chewing formulas, you can have this in mind. You can always put this one in mind if you are good. But if you forget, you can go through the process and prove. So now I'll just act as if you're the one solving it. You just break things down. Then you find this on your calculator. So, but I'll just kind of write my 6.819 here. So I write 17. So 17153 divided by 42 gives me 408.405 minus this one squared. So minus the 19.0238 all squared. So I'll get 361.905. And when you find the square root, you should get this. So the calculator has helped you to find the mean, the standard deviation. The calculator has helped you to find fill the fx column, f times x squared column. Then for the median, I gave you the formula. So long as you understand the formula that I gave for the quartiles, you just apply and you are good to go. So that's the end of the tricks for the statistics. You can try some of the past questions with these tricks, and then watch out for the next trick on the maybe the following video we upload. We will continue to give you tricks. So thank you for watching and staying with us. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to also subscribe. You can leave your comments below. Thank you.